At BC Place. Not sure if the Lions had a good time tonight, but they certainly didn't get their kicks. In Hamilton, the debut of Damon in double blue. How sweet it is, a hockey hat trick has some people talking about a Devils dynasty. Vernon's Chris Barilla riding high at the U.S. Open. Mike Weir shoots for 2 straight major titles at the Open as he leads the Canuck contingent. Justin's time, New West Justin's Morneau makes his big league debut. And while Sammy waits, Sammy plays. It's Sportsnet News, and it is next.
From the Sportsnet studios, here is Don Taylor.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I'm Don Taylor, and this is the news. It was only an exhibition game tonight at BC Place, but don't tell that to BC football fans, expecting to be impressed during their first look at Dave Dickinson and the Wally Buono-era Lions. As the Lions hosted the Eskimos, they had 3 goals in mind: to evaluate talent, to prepare for the regular season ahead, and most importantly, to convince the public this team is worth opening up the wallet for. Lions coming off last week's loss in Calgary, and here we are in the first quarter. Lions down 3-0. Curtis Head from 41 yards. It's wide right. Matt Kellett then gets his chance in the Lions kicking battle. 36-yard field goal. He misses right. Guys, come on. Second quarter. Kojo Aidu. Bring back Ted Drill, I'm saying, by the way. 1-yard TD run, 10-0. Curtis Head from 34. It's up, it's good. Lions trail 10-3. It's about time. Ricky Ray now to Troy Mills. Mills barreling his way down to the 4-yard line. On the next play, Ricky Ray, man, was he good tonight. Rolling left, little play fake to Jason Tucker. Where's the D? 4 yards, 17-3, green and gold. Now, Dave Dickinson comes in, and, he played pretty well tonight. Evidence here, the nice pass to G.Y. Simon, who was looking more like Paul Simon. Can't hang on. 17-6 at the half. Third quarter, Bart Hendricks in for Ray. 3 yards to the veteran Terry Vaughn. 24-6 Edmontonians. Still in the third. Dave Dickinson to Frank Catolo. Touchdown, but no! He dropped the ball. What was with BC receivers tonight? Fourth quarter, Bart Hendricks to Darrell Robinson. 36 yards, 31-9 Edmonton. The Eskimos go on to win big, 38-9 over the Lions. The attendance tonight, 12,319. Jason Crum left the game with what is believed to be a broken collarbone. Again, by the way, the Lions opening up next Friday, June the 20th, at home against Winnipeg. They'll have to be a whole lot better. Dickinson's final numbers, by the way, 14 of 27 for 193 yards. Let's hear what the boys had to say.
It wasn't the home debut that Wally Buono and Dave Dickinson were looking for, as the Lions were handed their second straight defeat of the preseason by the Edmonton Eskimos. Now, although Dickinson's numbers may not reflect it, he did look fairly good in making his reads tonight, although he admits they have to get better in the red zone and score some points.
Well, we got to get better, but we did move the ball pretty well, and I think we're going to take some time. And I was actually, we lost, but I'm encouraged offensively that we're starting to make it work a little bit better.
We just got our ass whooped. That's it. Point blank. Ain't no excuses. The kicking game wasn't great. We were terrible on offense. As far as, executing in the red zone and green zone to score points. Defensively, like I said, there was no aggression. We were not aggressive. And you can't play a good football team like that in that style.
Now, though Wally Buono and his coaching staff have until Saturday to pare down the roster, you can expect to see cuts come within the next couple of days. Buono wants his starters working together every single day in practice between now and next Friday's home opener, so that the Lions don't end up on the wrong side of the scoreboard when the Bombers come to town to open the regular season. Scott Rintoul, Sportsnet, Vancouver.
Thanks so much, Scotty. Meanwhile, the man Dave Dickinson replaced made his debut for the Argos tonight in Hamilton. Yes, Damon Allen slipped on double blue for the first time and did so while wearing his familiar number 9 thanks to receiver Andre Talbot, who gave it up in a show of respect for the CFL's all-time passing leader. Here we are at Ivor Wynne, first quarter. Bad break for the Ticats. Danny McManus with the plunge. with a first down, but he got hit hard there. The scuffle ensues. When the dust settled, Dan McManus down and out. He had to be helped off with the leg injury. Club officials say he may be out several weeks. Here's Damon Allen in the fourth quarter. His first play, the pass attempt, no. Allen goes 2-0 on his first drive. Then Damon's third drive. The former Argo Joe Montford with the face mask on Damon on the next play. Damon Allen looking more and more comfortable in double blue as the night went on. Lowell Knight is in the end zone. He makes the catch, 28-yard touchdown. The Argos, led by Damon Allen, smacking the Cats 23-5.
The fact that he got a chance to get some snaps, you know, get hit for the first time since last year. And at the same time, to just get a feel for our guys, the guys I was playing with. I'm pleased, but you know, there's room for improvement.
Two UBC pitchers taken in last week's Major League draft have signed Major League contracts. Brooks McNiven, selected 123rd overall by San Francisco, has a 6-year deal with the Giants. Corey Stewart, grabbed 154th by the Yankees, has inked a 7-year pact with New York. Both Chuckers got themselves signing bonuses in the $150,000 range. And wouldn't Brooks and Corey love to be where New Westminster's Justin Morneau was tonight, making his Major League debut for the Minnesota Twins as they hosted Colorado. Brad Radke and the Twins facing the Rockies for the first time ever. Top of the first, 2 on. Preston Wilson getting to Brad Radke in a big way. 3-run job, Rockies up 3-0. Bottom of the second. Here he is, New Westminster's Justin Morneau. His lacrosse ref dad just busting with pride. This single up the middle in his first Major League at bat gets the nice ovation from the Twins faithful. Bottom of the fourth, though, Jason Jennings striking out Justin Morneau. That's okay, Justin. Top of the sixth now. 4-0 Rockies. It's Greg Vaughn. Large left off Radke. It's a solo. Third home run allowed by Brad Radke. 5-0 Rockies. Bottom of the sixth. Justin Morneau again. Atta-way, kid. Another base hit to the fellow BC native out there, Larry Walker. Justin Morneau finishes 2 for 4. The Rockies do win, though, by a score of 5-0. Again, Justin Morneau, 2 for 4 with 1 strikeout. Congratulations to the entire Morneau family. Radke matches a season high with his 3rd straight loss. Colorado runs their Major League worst road record to 8-22. They're not as star-studded as Detroit, not as freewheeling as Colorado, not as flashy as Dallas, but after last night's Game 7 victory over Anaheim, the New Jersey Devils have 3 Stanley Cups in 9 years. Maybe you don't like the way they play hockey. Maybe you find them too defensive-minded, too boring. All that doesn't matter, as the Devils have been as good or better than any other NHL franchise over the past decade. Here's Roger Millions.
They are a championship team like very few. 3-time winners matched only by the Red Wings in recent years. But unlike Detroit, the Devils stand alone. No city to call their own, just an exit ramp, 16 West. Lonely paved parking lots and cement overpasses. A franchise operated by the firm fist of Lou Lamoriello, now firmly etching itself in history.
What we have is good people. You said it. When you're surrounded by the type of people that we have in our coaching staff and our scouting staff and support people in every way, you can't help it. It's unfortunate that, it zeroes in on myself, but without these people, it could never happen.
I owe a lot to Lou. While I was out of the game for 2 years, I read a lot of articles by a lot of people sitting right here, some of them saying that I was done and I wasn't ever going to get back in the game, that I wasn't a style of coach that people wanted, and he believed in me.
Pat came in and he made sure we were ready for every game. We never got too high, never got too low. We never had too many bad losing streaks, and I think he deserves a lot of credit. He kept us going and he pushed us. He hates to lose, loves to win, and you know what? That's what you need these days.
Continental Airlines Arena is frankly an antiquated relic, isolated, devoid of luxury boxes, and as some put it, butt ugly. The home of this year's title winners is expected to contribute to team losses around $30 to $40 million. In spite of that, players love to wear the Devils jersey, and winning can make you forget a lot of problems.
All we care about is winning over here, and we've done it pretty consistently. And this year was probably the most difficult year of all. It was a year going into the season. I didn't really know what to expect.
We got new guys, a lot of question marks. Lost Bobby Olik, lost, Arnie and Mackie, two guys that big leaders in this locker room, and add new guys, and we grew on each other a little bit, and then that's why we were such a successful team.
This parking lot will soon hold its third Stanley Cup victory celebration. There'll be no long parade route, no extravagant send-off, no needless expense. That's hardly the stuff of three-time champions. But you see, here in Jersey, all that really matters is winning. Roger Millian, Sportsnet, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Outstanding, Raj. So who is favored to win the Cup next season? According to the experts in Vegas, the Red Wings, 9-2 favorites. Vancouver is slightly ahead of Toronto and Anaheim. I can't believe Colorado's up that high, by the way, without Patrick Waugh. Edmonton, a long shot at 31, and the odds of the Flames sipping from Lord Stanley's mug longer than Lanny McDonald's mustache. No mustaches left on our Hockey Central panel because John Garrett, well, he's gone home. Take it away, boys.
The New Jersey Devils wrapped up the Stanley Cup final with a home record of 12 wins and 1 loss, an NHL first. In the finals alone, the Devils outscored the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim 15-3 to secure their third Stanley Cup in 9 years. The panel is back one more time. Nick Kypreos, Scott Morrison, and Gord Stellick is here. And Scott, let's begin with almost a look back at the Devils. Yes, they're dominant. Are they a dynasty? I don't know about that, but I am prepared to call Lou Lamoriello a genius.
Well, there's no question he deserves a lot of credit and acknowledgement for the work he has done as general manager, winning 3 Stanley Cups in 9 years, which puts them into dynasty territory, to be sure. And you think back to winning in '95, after they won that first cup, and they were very dominant that spring, they lost some key guys off their roster, some big names like Bill Guerin and John McClain. But they bounce back. They make some changes in 2000, all the while competitive through there. In 2000, they win and then lose a cast of other big names, including Jason Arnott, who scored the clinching goal in that Cup victory. And then he retools to win in 2003, but he doesn't bring in necessarily big names, but good names. And that's why at the end of it all, Lou Lamoriello said this wasn't the most talented Devils team he put together, but maybe the hardest working.
And Scott, if you took a good look at that list of 10 names that have left the swamp, 9 of them forwards, and just one defenseman that's left, and that was Malakhov. What does that tell you? Defense wins championships, and he builds his core around basically 3 guys the last 10 years. Marty Brodeur, Scott Stevens, and Scott Niedermayer.
Is that model managing, Gord?
Well, it really is, because, I mean, he can't have his cake and eat it too, so he's got to make decisions. I mean, Larry Plow tried this in St. Louis as well. For every guy you keep, you got to let one go, and Lou lets Bobby Holik go. He lets Alexander McGillney go. Billy Guerin, I mean, what a guy he had to trade. I mean, there's a guy that's an all-star in every way, shape, and form. And Lou Lamoriello makes the right decisions. As Nick said, Stevens, Brodeur stay, and Niedermayer is going to be the next challenge a few years down the road. Can he make him join? They'll throw the money at him for sure.
Our hockey coverage doesn't disappear into the vapors. There's plenty coming up in terms of the NHL entry draft and then ultimately the free agent frenzy of July 1st. There are some big names, Scott, starting up front with Sergei Fedorov.
Well, there's certainly a lot of decisions, tough decisions to be made in Detroit, and ultimately they'll be expensive decisions. Yes, Fedorov is out there. We know about the ongoing talks throughout this season with his agent and Ken Holland, the general manager. But beyond that, you start to look at some of the forwards on the Detroit roster. Steve Yzerman, the captain, is he going to get $8 million? Can Fedorov get $10 million? Can Darren McCarty get whatever number of $1 million he wants to make? Suddenly the decisions are getting a lot tougher for the Red Wings.
Darian Hatcher, the top defenseman out there, Gord.
Yeah, he is, and certainly everyone wants to get that next Rob Blake. I mean, and you got to roll the dice. If you can get a defenseman, got to go that way, and hopefully it works out better than it did for the Rangers last year.
As we wrap up, will there be a $9 million plus player in that group, Nick?
Their team's trying to get rid of their $9 million player. I think it's going to be very, very quiet. The days of the $40 or $50 million contract, I think, are dwindling.
Well, and so ends an eventful trek, one that included upset, intrigue, and the drama of a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. The panel offers its thanks to you for a terrific season. It's certainly been a lot of fun. As we get it back to Sportsnet News.
All right, thanks so much, Darren. Our power poll then, over the past 10 years, in the wake of the Devils' victory yesterday, which has been the most dominant NHL franchise, Jersey and Detroit with the 3 cups each, Colorado with a couple of cups, Dallas with the 1 NHL title. You want to cast your vote, log on to sportsnet.ca. You gotta love Chris Barilla. Chris is the unheralded 20-year-old from Vernon who last week qualified for the U.S. Open. So, how did Chris prepare for the Open? Did he seclude himself? Did he try to get in a round or two at Olympia Fields? No. Chris did what he always does around this time of year. He hung out with his buds in the Okanagan. Craig McEwen has that story.
Maybe this place is getting a reputation for a spot to come prepare for the U.S. Open.
How would your life change if your numbers came up in a lottery? 69, 70, 139 were Chris Barilla's winning digits. No, not for Lotto 649, but for a trip to the U.S. Open.
It's a tournament. I mean, given it's a big tournament, but it's a tournament that I wanted to play in and that I aspired to play in. So qualifying for it is huge, but it was a goal. So if it was unexpected, I mean, it was still, that's what the goal was. So it doesn't kind of catch you off guard.
While that might sound a little nonchalant for a 20-year-old kid who's just hit the golfing jackpot, the first thing that strikes you when you meet this Vernon native is his calm, cool demeanor.
He's never the first one to tell you how good he is. We know how good he is, first of all. And he'll always keep it down on a lower level. Like, he's like, yeah, you're going to the U.S. Open. He's just like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but that's all he'll really say.
He got his first hole-in-one. He was home and I didn't find out, and he didn't tell me till 4 hours later. I don't know where it comes from, but this is the way he is.
I've never played a PGA Tour event, of course never a major, so it's going to be a great experience. I put pressure on myself to play well in every tournament I play. And I don't really worry about pressure from outside. Who is that?
But he qualified for the U.S. Open, so.
It's very weird. There's people calling me I haven't talked to in years. There's people calling me I've never known in my life. And it's fun, and it's like, I didn't expect the amount of attention and congratulations and stuff. It's been quite touching, the amount of people.
Neighbors, people we don't really know that well or don't even know, coming up and, you know, saying, go get them, and, you know, like, wonderful, and congratulations, and my chest is got to be twice the size it normally is. It's amazing.
Oh, get this on camera, right? Turn around.
Galleries will be a little larger than that next week, though, Chris.
I mean, that's a tough spot to get it out of. Fairways and greens, and just taking your lumps when you do hit it in there.
Practicing in the tall stuff will no doubt help his game, but if Barilla does get too big, his buddies will be the first to cut him down to size.
Mathematics phenom about to become the Open champion.
It's a beautiful backswing.
Hanging out with childhood friends is par for the course, and just because he's going to the U.S. Open, that won't change the way Chris does things.
Who's more excited? Well, you know, to be able to say, I know this guy, but it's not like I know this guy. I mean, I grew up around his family and you know, getting to hang out and, you know, just grow up, do normal life stuff. And then to be in golf and see a buddy play his first tour event, a major championship, it's phenomenal.
That's my normal routine when I'm home in the summer. I come out and I play with my buddies, hang out, and it's good to just have something normal because everything else is a little bit skewed from what I'm used to.
Before this year, the last BC-born golfer to play at the U.S. Open was Richard Zokol, who, like Chris Barilla, also had to qualify for the tournament at Southern Hills in 2001. Now, Zokol ended up making the cut that year. It's a goal that Chris also takes with him into this year's tournament in Chicago. Craig McEwen, Sportsnet, Predator Ridge, Vernon.
Boy, that Predator Ridge looks nice. Thanks a lot, Craig. Great job. Meanwhile, Masters champ, and best of luck to Chris, by the way. Meanwhile, Masters champ, 20 of their last 25. Top of the third, one on Orlando Cabrera. Says hello to Gilmesh, says goodbye to Gilmesh. A two-run salad, Expos lead 2-1. Bottom of the sixth now. Seattle down 3-2. Jeff Cirillo. Down the left field line, into the corner. That's a double. That's going to plate Randy Wynn. A hustling Randy Wynn. Is he going to make it? Yeah, he did. Game tied at 3. Top of the seventh now. Andy Chavez. Chavez with the base hit. That's going to cash in Michael Barrett. Expos up 1. It's 4-3. Top 9. 2-1. Andy Chavez. Right field, deep into the Seattle-Washington evening. A 3-run home run. Expos thumping Seattle 7-3. Javier Vasquez pitches 6 innings, allowing 3 runs on 8 hits. Vasquez struck out 7. Is now second in the bigs with 104 Ks. Brett Boone extends his hit streak to a career-high 15 games. The M's lose for just the second time in their last 13 outings. Here's the latest on Courtgate. Major League Baseball, which suspended Sammy Sosa 8 games, heard his appeal today in Baltimore. A ruling could come down as early as tomorrow morning.
I have my hearing today.
waiting for the decision that they're going to make. Whatever punishments that they're going to do it, I accept it. It's been a tough week for me.
All right, so Cubs in Baltimore tonight. There's Sammy, maybe playing his last game for a while. Fans in Baltimore giving Sammy a little support. Top of 2, Sammy, who hasn't homered in a month. First at-bat, deep fly ball. Hits the wall for the double. He would later score 1-0 Baby Bears. Top of 3, runner on third for Sosa. Pat Hinkin strikes him out, taking a peek. Top of the 5th. Now 4-0 Cubs. Man on third again for the Samster. Third at-bat. He grounds out to second base. Sosa 1 for 3, 1 run scored at that point. Top of 8, Sammy leading off. He singles to left center. However, he would be left stranded. Bottom of the inning after Sosa takes the field. A fan, now you don't see the fan, but he ran out into the field and threw a piece of cork at Sosa. He threw a piece of cork at him. To make matters worse, it was from a bottle of Baby Duck, cheap wine. Sammy still laughed it off. It was from a bottle of Baby Duck. Top of the 9th, Sammy facing Jorge Julio. Strikes out, swinging, finished 2 for 5. Cubs win 4-0. So despite his solid showing tonight, Sammy Sosa hasn't exactly been slamming since the cork incident. He has only 6 hits in 19 at-bats with 0 home runs in the last week. We talked earlier about how Canadians Mike Weir and Chris Barilla are getting geared up for the Hockey Hall of Fame has been released. Grant Fuhr got to be the closest thing to a sure thing here after helping the Oilers win those 4 Stanley Cups in the 80s. Bill Ranford, the Oilers' 1990 Conn Smythe winner, is also up for consideration, as is, bit down the list here, the former Canuck Jeff Courtnall, along with Guy Carbonneau, Brian Scruglin, and Wendell Clark. The news conference has been called by the Edmonton Oilers for tomorrow. It's expected the team will announce a new contract for head coach Craig McTavish. Craig led the Oilers to the postseason despite losing prominent players like Anton Carter and Yanni Niinema at the trade deadline. In 3 years as head coach, Mac T has a regular season record 31 games above 500. All things considered, very, very good. Sammy Kapanen has signed a 2-year deal with the Flyers, terms not disclosed. In 71 games with the Hurricanes and Flyers, the speedy winger picked up 10 goals and 21 assists this past season in what was considered by many to be an off year for him. Also, the team has asked John LeClair to either spread out the cost of his current $9 million a year deal or waive his no-trade clause. According to sources, LeClair has agreed to be traded to 4 teams: Rangers, Kings, Red Wings, Stars. Once again, welcome back, everybody. The Stanley Cup playoffs wrapped up yesterday, over 2 months after they started. What happened in that time? Perhaps this will jog your memory as we present the first of a 2-part series entitled The Plays of the Playoffs.
Welcome to the 2003 NHL playoffs. And boy, oh boy, these two mean business. Jackman, Neil Supple. And Hamanov scores. Woo! Yeah. And now we've got more trouble. Well, we got the gloves off now. How about that? Takes the shot, they score! Scores! The Mighty Ducks have knocked off the defending Stanley Cup champions! They lead! Goalie nails him and he goes down, but he gets back up quickly. There is Tucker waving at Brecky, so those 2 guys will get involved again for sure. Tucker went into the first hard hit of the game. Here the shots go.
That's the beauty of the playoffs. You might just let those doctors near me.
Nice stick handling. Inside. inside the zone. Right in the goal. He scores!
Got it with his left toe. It looks like Dominic Hasek.
Great save by Waugh on Ronnie. Oh, unbelievable. Pagano, he scores! Score! Andrew Brunette!
That was a great hit.
Plain simple, we just don't like each other.
I guess they don't like to lose.
I'm pissed off.
We're in trouble.
Cinderella story continues. Backhand scores! Shot scores! Marion Gabbard!
It's because my lucky sucks.
More of that in a bit coming up. Why is David Beckham bent about bolting to Barcelona? There's more from BC Place as the Eskimos overwhelm the Lions. And Jefferson's game has to be moving on up for the net.
He has all the right moves, but lacks the experience.